Hello,
Hello.
we're here making
See, we're learning.
we're
We're
making
getting better.
a DC and Marvel movie tier list. So I know we said there was gonna be a gameplay video, but sadly my internet was out yesterday until
So
7:30, and I didn't feel like recording after 7:30. And this bozo doesn't have his computer right now since he's at his dad's house.
Fortnite, we can make a Fortnite
We're not
video.
making
God,
a Fortnite video.
Fortnite.
Anything but Fortnite. So we're gonna start. We're gonna mention one movie though that's not on here, and it's such a perfect movie. Black Adam
Black.
is S
Adam.
tier.
Yeah, it's a good movie. It should be the Doctor Fate movie, but also
No,
there's The Rock.
it
So
felt. The thing is, it felt more. It felt like a Black Adam movie, just because they had the lore on him. Yeah, Doctor Fate was there a lot, but Doctor Fate was like he was
he
like
got a
comedic
lot
side.
more character development.
Not really. I
Yeah,
mean,
well,
he got more in terms like by character development. I feel like he got a lot more time with the cast to grow with them, but not like
yeah,
even himself. I think is that what
yeah.
you mean?
Black Adam learns literally nothing in that movie, and I just think
No,
that's
he
a
learned
great.
something.
He learned
He
something, and that is
the lesson
don't
is that
kill
he
every
no
single
the
person you see.
lesson was that basically they he his and the thing closed.
The lesson was for everyone else but Black Adam.
No, the lesson for Black Adam was that words that Black Adam needs, even though he wasn't the actual savior, he could still do what his son wanted to do.
True,
So
but he could also be a Goku.
let's start the hit movie Aquaman. It's a B tier movie.
It's mid.
It's a bit above. Oh, it's raining really hard outside.
Oh, it's not raining for me at all. So that seems like a.
Me problem.
Where your Wi-Fi goes out again? That wouldn't that be awesome?
That would be very awesome. Anyway, I think it's a bit above mid, but the one
Yeah, but nothing too incredibly special about it.
yeah, but it was solid. It was like
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
they didn't mess up. That was the main part. That was really
Yeah,
good. However, Birds of Prey is an F tier.
I I
Actually,
don't want to talk about that. I want to
I
talk
think
about
we need to
food.
add some more. I think we need to add another layer.
True.
This is like actually I know what we'll call this tier. The Morgana tier. Yeah, it's
It's
in the Morgana
but
tier.
Morgana's everyone's favorite character. So
Morgana's
how is that?
no one's favorite. The no, the first Justice League, not the Zack Snyder. What do you think?
Uh, I liked it. Like
I don't know.
high B low A
I
ish
didn't
for
like
me.
it. I was gonna say D for me.
Oh well, that's fair.
Let's put C.
I thought like the action was pretty
You know,
cool, but
the action was cool. It's
the
just the
story the
story.
story is awful. But I
Yeah,
like seeing everything. So
true. Okay, I guess that's like a fair point if you're just going for
yeah,
ratings.
a C. I would say C honestly.
C only because the action carries it.
Yeah,
Now Zach also because like that they just introduced Cyborg and the Flash out of nowhere, and they're like, yeah, they exist. Do they have a
yeah.
backstory?
It's
No.
Cyborg in the Flesh.
True.
I can't believe the guy from Teen Titans Go was so popular. They made it real.
Zack Snyder's Justice League is B tier.
Yeah,
It is a bit better because well no, I'm gonna it's a lot better, but it's too long and a lot of it is filler. Like
yeah.
I
They
liked
should.
it. The only
They
reason
just padded it out too much.
I like the whole cyborg part. They could have just made a cyborg movie out of that.
They could, but no.
You know, I think the big problem was that people were like, "Oh my god, this is the best movie ever." But that only might be because it came after the first Justice League and people hated that movie.
People love that movie. I have no idea what you're talking about.
I don't think they did. Also,
Almost as much as how much people love Morgana.
they fixed all the visuals and actually gave a lot more stuff. So I'm gonna say B tier only because there was a bit. It's too long. I mean, okay, There's definitely a lot of scenes they could have cut out of the Snyder cut, and I would have been fine. But I guess that was the point, that it was supposed to be like the entire part that he made.
Yeah,
So let's do
I feel like it was just a bit too long. Was the only
Man
bad part.
Man of Steel. What do you
I
think?
thought it was pretty. I thought it was pretty sick.
I liked Man of Steel too. I think the one problem for me is I get the point that they're trying to do for Superman, like being this like just being irresponsible and learning and stuff, and I like that part. But I feel like by the end he just does so much damage
I
that
don't. Yeah,
it
I
made
don't think you could
sense.
say he's still like. He's like Goku.
He is
Guys,
really a
I'm gonna
Goku,
break this city.
except he can't revive. So
He's like Goku, except he doesn't revive
I'm gonna say
people.
high C, just because I don't know. Some of the plot was a bit like not good. Shazam was S tier.
It's perfect. Didn't try to take itself seriously, which is the best part about Shazam.
They made it it's more comedy. Even during the action parts, it's comedy, and I think that's what it should be, because it's like a 13-year-old boy who gets transformed into this superhero. It just makes sense for it not to be serious.
Yeah, I mean, there's like some parts that are serious, but it's not too much,
Yeah.
which makes sense.
Did you see in the Shazam 2 trailer, he says something about "I love my life" when he's like, "I threw a train" and blah blah blah, and people were mad about that because they said it was immature and they should not put it, so they removed it from the
He's
movie.
literally
Yeah, and
13.
a lot of people defended it, and even the creator said, "I don't know." Even the creator, when he removed it, he said, "You guys are basically dumb for complaining. He is 13." And I don't.
It's like
Usually you would be mad at a
I get
creator.
it if it would be like immature and he was like Superman or something, but he's literally a kid.
Yeah. Okay. It, even the creator, I would have been mad at if the creator was making fun of the people who complained. Any other thing, if they said remove this scene because it was like really really bad or something, then I would be like, oh, the creator should not have said that. But the creator had the right to complain.
It's like, guys, the 13-year-old kid should be more mature with his
The
superpowers. It's like
Yeah,
he's literally 13. What happens? What do you think? What do you think happens when you give a middle schooler superpowers?
the original Suicide Squad, the one with Will Smith
No,
and
Will.
Katana. We
The
got
only the only part about that movie I liked is that the fact that there was Will Smith, so I could say, guys, look, it's Will Smith.
It was awful except for one character, which was the fire dude. He was the only character that had actual like character. Will Smith was said, "I can hit any shot," and he missed every single shot in the movie except for one.
Yeah, no, but that's my favorite part about that movie because it's just Will Smith, and he just feels out of place.
Now we can agree the new Suicide Squad is S
It
tier,
is
right?
awesome.
It is
Yes,
so. They made the best decision ever, just making it complete comedy.
yeah, because it, at the end it gets serious, but it's supposed to get serious. But they
Even
just
at the
push the
end when they're
goofiest
fighting,
character.
even at the end when they're fighting
Your
Starro,
mom.
it's
Yeah.
still a bit of comedy. Do you see that? That is your mother.
No.
No, and he just tries to kill Starro, but then he just dies, and they're just like, oh my god, and then they just continue fighting.
Yeah. Well, I feel like how much they don't care about the characters really helps it because they're just like, you can die. And we don't really care, which is the whole point of it.
Yeah, the whole point is that these are the most like B-list superheroes ever, supervillains, except for Harley Quinn. And
I don't
Harley
know
Quinn
how
is
Harley Quinn was there.
Harley Quinn was so funny in that movie.
She was very funny, but I also don't understand why they put her on a Suicide Squad.
Oh, she is pretty crazy.
She is pretty crazy. That is true.
you know. So the whole movie was good, and then Peacemaker was able to have a spin-off, which was also I would put in S tier because
That would.
Vigilante is the best character in the show. Prove me wrong.
I cannot because he just simply is.
Vigilante's too cracked. Now, Wonder Woman 84, I think I actually might need a. No, I'm gonna put Morgana tier above Birds of Prey because
Wait.
that that was the one where you could see the green screen and the glasses, not the
Oh,
original one.
okay, okay. That's not the other Wonder Woman
No,
movie. I was like,
not the original. It was awful. It was just absolutely awful. Nothing made sense.
it
And
was only the only way I could get any enjoyment out of it is by like it's so bad it's funny to look at.
true, you could watch it with friends and have fun, but other than that, if you're watching it alone, it
If
would
you're
just be
trying to take
painful.
it serious, I feel so bad for you.
Actually, I'm not gonna lie. The first time I watched Wonder Woman 84 was at a friend's house, and I fell asleep while watching it. And not even like I fell asleep during like a slow scene. I fell asleep during an action scene. That's how awful it was.
How late was it? Was it like just?
It was 10. It
So
wasn't.
you weren't even like you can't even be like that tired.
Yeah, and I woke up at like 12 that day. So it was just awful. Wonder Woman the original is A tier though.
Yeah, that was good.
The only part that was the ending was kind of bad, and then the running through the field scene was good, but it was a bit goofy. And then the music was so good, and also the action was super good, and the story. Now, Batman vs Superman: Dawn of Justice is a D tier movie. What's
Yeah,
your
I
opinion?
can't even. I can't try to defend this one. Cool idea, horrible execution.
Martha! How do you know that name? How do you know that name? I'm sorry, Batman, that there's gonna be more than one person with the name Martha.
No.
I mean, I get the only reason it saves it from F tier is because the whole concept alone was good, and the fact that they kind of did handle him. The first part of him hating Superman because of the whole like destroying everything part was good, but then after that, everything of him getting together and stuff was so bad. And then the most ridiculous part was when the disabled man climbed the statue and paint and spray painted it.
Well, he's disabled. Are you telling him to not climb the
So you're
statue?
saying he had one arm, was holding himself up with one arm while spraying everything and making it
He
look
was
good.
holding himself. He was holding himself up with his feet, idiot. Okay,
Oh, his
clearly.
working feet. You know,
He had big grippers. What can I say?
I will
I
say,
don't understand how that man did it.
I don't know. The only parts I like were the Wonder Woman parts and some of the Batman. Like, cause the Wonder
Yeah, but
Woman
that's
parts
because
were a bit
he
enjoyable,
was
and so
perfect.
was the Batman. But the Superman parts were just so boring. It was just, hey guys, I'm here. Also, Lex Luthor had hair.
That's not supposed to happen.
That's not supposed to happen. So that's the DC one finish. Now let's go on to Marvel.
Yeah, because we realized there's really only like
Oh,
6 DC.
true. So we're gonna start with the original, first DC movie. Where is it?
I don't think this is DC.
Or not Marvel movie. The first one,
My
Iron
favorite guys.
Man.
This is my.
Iron Man 1, S plus tier.
It was really good.
It was just so absurdly good. You know what's in the
It looked really good, especially for the time that it came
okay.
out.
Yeah, and all the story was cool and the music was so good.
Yeah,
You know they
it
have the
was.
film database at the Lake House or something where they put like all the films that are influential and stuff, and you know that the three superhero movies are the first ever Superman movie, which started Superman hero movies. The Dark Knight, because a Dark Knight is just considered like a masterpiece, and then this Iron Man 1, because not only is it
Why is
super
it so
good,
good?
it's super good and it started MCU. It it's just that movie was so good. The action was so good. the whole point of it being hit. I know this is all based on the comics, but still, the consequences of him, the realization that his actions have had consequences all over the world was so good. It's just, and the music. Now let's go on to a not so good movie, The Incredible Hulk.
Okay,
There's an E on this one, by the way.
I can't say it was horrible.
I can't say it was good though.
I can't say it was good. I can't say it was horrible.
I think D tier personally, just because it was boring.
It was boring. And how do you mess up the Hulk? He just needs to break things to make a good movie.
True. That is true. Just run around, destroy shit. And, like, it was just too boring. But the ending was kind of good with the Abomination. But the fight was.
Yeah. Yeah, the fight was not. I'll give you that.
So, where's the next one? Captain America, the first Avenger, is an S tier movie. Actually, I'm gonna say A because there is another Captain America movie better. What do you think about that?
It was still a really good movie.
It was super good. Captain America, it's just such a good lead up. It takes the whole concept and it just
everything that when Captain America fights, it's just so sick because seeing people fight with a shield is cool.
True.
That's like from Rising of the Shield Hero showed me that.
That is true. It should by the concept alone, a man. If you think about it, the concept of Captain America himself since the beginning sounded lame, but he's just become such an iconic character because they made it not lame. He hits with the shield. He uses the shield really cool. Also, the ending with Red Skull was kind of weird, but we found out a lot later. But it was like really disappointing. But that whole movie was good. The super serum scene was handled really well. I like the whole part about him enlisting the army as like this weak dude, and then gains power, but he still slowly becomes a bit stronger day by day, and that they chose him because he represents America.
America.
So now, next in the timeline, I believe is Thor, the first one.
I haven't watched it.
I'll tell you now, it's D tier.
Okay, that's probably why I haven't watched it.
It's just not good, but it's also not okay. The reason it's not F tier is because there are movies in here that should belong F tier. But however, Thor definitely belongs in D tier because it was just so boring. Was it the first? Yeah, it's the first Thor. Okay, let me put it this way. It all takes place in a town. Most of the movie's just talking, and the main villain was a robot. Like not like a really cool robot like Ultron or something. Not like it was sentient. It was just a sentinel that came and fought Thor for like 5 minutes and then done. Movie end. Haha. That was the movie. And the worst part is this was the movie that introduced Hawkeye.
That just sounds like a train wreck.
Why did they have to introduce Hawkeye in this of all movies? Let's go to the next one for the first part. There was okay, hold on. I'm trying to think. This week, there is one more movie that takes place before the end of before Normal Avengers. Iron Man 2.
Is it good?
I did not watch it.
I did not watch it.
I don't blame you. It's like a mid movie. The problem is they didn't do enough with the villain, and then they just didn't do enough with the villain. Whiplash could have been so cool. His thing was cool. He literally had electric whips.
How do you mess up electric whips?
I don't know. They didn't mess it. It's just they didn't do anything really with him because he fought with his electric whips like once, and then sent out robots. If they just had him not send out the robots at the end, it could have been a cool. The visuals were still great though. and the
Okay,
story was kind of okay because
I might have to watch it.
I like how he's still living for the consequences of his actions.
Yeah, then I'll probably go back and watch it.
Now we have the first Avengers. I'm sorry, it is a D tier movie. The first Avengers movie is not that good.
True,
I think the only
but
reason people view it as so good at the time is because it was an Avengers movie. They were all coming together.
I think it was just cool to see everyone. I don't think anyone.
True.
So like people liked it. I liked it, but
I
I didn't think the story was the
you
greatest or
know I
anything.
I loved it at the time, but now looking back at it, it was a bit boring. And
It
then
was a bit boring, but it was only really hype because everyone came together. You're like, guys, look, it's everyone. It's like that guy and the other guy and the other guy after that.
and then Captain America said Avengers Assemble. That he said the movie name. I'm gonna get rid
He
of
said the line.
I'm gonna get rid of E tier. I don't even know why this is here because we don't use it.
True.
Next in the timeline, immediately after that movie's Iron Man 3. What do you think of that?
I haven't watched it as well.
It's a
I've heard
D
it's
tier
good.
movie.
D tier. I've heard people say it's good, so they're lying to me.
They were lied to. The thing is, the entire plot. Okay, the story is actually like kind of good till till Iron Man goes to kill the Mandarin. Because then they ruin that part. Because the Mandarin's supposed to be this really cool villain in the comics. And then do you know what he is in the movie?
What?
A dude who is an actor who is paid to make something. And then
Mm,
they focus the movie on these
but
people who are heat people.
heat people.
Like they are made, they like get really hot and stuff, and then fire beams and things. And the ending was kind of mid, because it would have been cool because of all the suits, but the way he used the suits were just not good.
Okay.
Because he just like threw the suits at him basically. Now,
So
then the next movie is probably the one of the worst, if not the worst, MCU movies of all time. It's
what is it?
Thor: Dark World.
I don't want to talk about that movie.
That movie was just absolutely awful for every single
Did
aspect.
you also watch it thinking it was gonna be good?
I did. Okay, here's the fact. Here's something I have to tell you. I watched Thor Ragnarok before I watched Dark World.
Wait,
And
no, wait.
Ragnarok's the really good one.
Oh, okay. And then you were immediately disappointed.
And I'm like, okay, maybe this movie will be. No. Awful. Every single way.
True.
Now, Guardians of the Galaxy is an A tier movie. Actually, no, it's S
Yeah,
tier.
a low S, high A.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Just okay. The way they're.
Also, Star Lord has like a really cool
He's
idea.
Yeah, no. All the characters are really cool. It's also like it's another movie. It's a movie that you're not supposed to take seriously. Even the ending they make funny because he's like, "We are the Guardians of the Galaxy," and they like it's like a pause, bitch. That was just funny to me.
I was just,
The whole scene of Groot was really emotional somehow in this funny movie, and Drax is just the funniest character ever.
Drax is a good character,
Drax is
and also the start to it is just so good.
true.
He's just moving.
And Rocket Raccoon is. I like his obsession with stealing people's robotic limbs for no reason whatsoever.
The reason was they felt like it.
Yeah. Gamora had a really good character arc. She just started out as a bounty hunter, but then they had to come together. And then Star Lord himself, the only Chris Pratt from Mario, is just so funny. He
And
plays
Garfield.
he plays the role so well.
Yeah, and it's also even funnier if you go to rewatch it now because it's Mario. He's
True.
Mario.
Also, the way they implemented the fact that he was abducted during the 80s with the cassette tape is funny to me. Because he just starts. It's just all like. This music is so good. And it's funny.
It is. A lot of it is funny. It's really good. I I liked it.
hmm Now, for the next movie in the MCU lineup is. What No, it was not Ant-Man. Oh, Captain America Winter Soldier. S plus tier movie.
Yeah, I don't think you can really argue anything else.
The story was good. There wasn't too much action, but there wasn't too much action, but there wasn't too little action. It was just a perfect amount of action. Also, the action was just super good. And then the
Yeah.
and
Why
then
is every Captain America movie so
I
good?
don't know. In concept, a man throwing a shield should be the most boring thing ever, but then it's just like the best thing ever.
They just executed it really well.
True. And then it's S plus tier, and then the whole story about them being infiltrated from inside by Hydra, like this organization that they thought were dead but were actually secretly in hiding, was so good.
Hmm.
Now, next on the chopping block is, hold on, is that not the Winter? Oh, that's the wrong. I accidentally put the wrong thing. This is the Winter. Okay, yeah, there you go. The next on the chopping block is, I think it's Avengers: Age of Ultron.
Age of Ultron was really good. I liked it.
Age of Ult. Actually, no, I think we were supposed to put Age of Ultron before Winter Soldier.
I don't know. I don't feel like being guys.
It
This
was
acting came before
okay.
this one.
It was C tier only because it is the most forgettable movie ever.
I liked it. I thought it
I
was
mean,
cool. I thought
I liked it, but I have a question for you. Have you been sitting there and ever thought, I should rewatch Avengers: Age of Ultron?
no, but I did like Vision. I think it's like B tier.
It's I say okay, no, I say C tier only because of how forgettable it was.
I didn't think it was that forgettable. I don't think I'm going out of all of them. I don't think I would rewatch it, but I don't think I forgot it either. I don't think I was like, oh, I think it's B tier, but we can put it in C.
I'm not gonna lie. I have I never think about this movie until somebody asks me what's the most forgettable movie ever. And then they say that's actually and then they say they're that and then they say I forgot that was a movie.
I don't forget it was a movie. I like that movie.
I mean, I liked it, but it was just like it just did almost nothing in the story was the problem. The
Okay,
only
I
person
get that.
it introduced Wanda and Vision, and that was it. It didn't like progress the plot forward. Like
Okay, I get that.
the first Avengers movie did have like the whole Thanos thing in Loki with progressing it forward. That's my opinion on it though. So next on the
Yeah,
awesome block is Ant-Man.
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man. The original one is an S tier movie.
Yeah,
It's funny. I like the
it's
part.
funny and it's funny and it doesn't try to take itself seriously, but also they make it serious enough to the point where it's not just like comedy.
True. I like the part with the Thomas the Train and it just turns big.
It's Thomas the Train. What can you say?
You know. You already know how they had to pay for that joke too.
Or maybe they got paid. Maybe it was, hey, you want to do some product placement?
No product place. Okay, actually that's true. They could have got paid. And then
Yeah, it's one of the two though. I think it's funnier that they specifically wanted to make it Thomas the Train, so that's what I'm sticking with.
and then the whole story was really good. And I like how Hank Pym, who in the comics is the Ant-Man, is like the old Ant-Man this movie. Like he was the old Ant-Man and his um wife was the old Wasp. Sign of like it's the past of their era. They're past that era,
Yeah.
and they're moving on to Ant-Man and his pet ant Anthony.
True. That's like you. You're
It is like me. Next, I believe is I think it's Civil War.
Civil War had Spider-Man, therefore.
Actually, no, one more. There's one more movie before Guard the Galaxy Volume 2.
Oh, really good as well.
Really good. Just Ego himself was forgettable.
The villain was really forgettable, but you can't mess it up because you could just put all of them talking, and I think I'd still call it at least an A tier movie.
True. Any scene with Drax in any movie he's in is just the perfect scene. Cause it's just I like the scene where he's eating the chips, and he's like, I mastered the art of not of being unnoticed by moving really really still, and so I've been watching here. He's like, I'm eating my chips, and then he eats them so loudly, and says, you see, you wouldn't even notice me.
I wouldn't even notice him. He's Drax.
Drax is fire. I think the Guardian Galaxy themselves are so funny.
True.
And I like how I forget the name, no, no, Nobra or something. I forget the name of of Gamora's sister, but I like how she just comes flying in to kill, and she's like, ah, and that was so funny to me for no reason. And then he
Yeah.
turns into Pac-Man into the end to beat his dad.
It was funny and out of nowhere, and I thought it was pretty cool.
True. I thought the whole movie was really good, and I liked the extra backstory. If Ego himself was more memorable, it would have been S tier, and also the meme where they said the funny meme that they made of
They said
the
what?
talking scene. Remember the talking scene? How people kept dubbing over or putting captions. It's like I it's like I fell into this really a gorilla exhibit in 2004. What? Look, I know it sounds bad, but next is Civil War.
Spider-Man.
I say S tier movie.
Yeah, it was good. Introduced Spider-Man's.
And Ant-Man into the Avengers. And
Yeah.
also Bucky. It made him like an actual good character, like a good guy, and he stays that way. And it was also like the fights were really good, and my favorite, and I just think of I like the concept of him Ant-Man just turning really big, and Spider-Man saying, "Have you seen that one movie Star Wars? Have you seen the old movie Star Wars Empire Strikes Back, the one with the big walker thingies?"
Yeah.
And that's how they beat it.
It's like, guys, okay, I've watched Star Wars, and Star Wars is kind of cool. Therefore,
that is true. It was an S tier movie, and the fights were good. The whole lead up to it, like you at the first you're like, oh, Tony's just there. He's just like supposed to be opposing force, and at the end when you reveal it actually has something to do with him is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Now next on the chopping block is let's see. It's Thor Ragnarok. I think canonically that's the next one.
I don't care about canon.
Thor Ragnarok.
It was good.
Plus.
Yes, definitely.
It was so funny, and I don't know why the joke that always stuck out to me was when they were sitting in the room and they say we have to go up the devil's anus, and Bruce Banner just turned back from work. He's like, whose anus? I don't know. The fighting was really good too.
Wait, am I thinking of the right movie? Ragnarok was the one where the Hulk's there at the gladiator thing, right? Or am I? Okay.
That's the right movie.
The Rock guy was awesome.
The Rock Korg is so funny. I don't know. He's just so funny. I like the dude who's just that bug with blade arms.
True.
It was another movie that you weren't supposed to take seriously. Okay, I think a lot of people complain at the new movies being too funny, but I feel like if you establish the character to be a comedical character before, it's fine.
Like, but they did it really well because they somehow made Thor into a funny movie and it didn't feel weird.
True. And they established Thor in the Avengers movies to be funny.
Yeah. Like I don't think I would like a funny Batman movie, but like there's certain characters that, you make a funny.
Yeah, there's certain characters that make serious like Captain America, and others that are just supposed to not be taken serious from the beginning, like Iron Man.
Like Ant-Man.
Like Ant-Man is just his whole concept is just a joke, basically.
True. And that's what makes all of his movies so great.
That is true. Next is, let's see, Doctor Strange.
S.
S. S plus or S. It's hard.
S plus.
Yeah. The all the visuals are super cool. The story was good, and it was another villain that you or hero that you were supposed to take him seriously, but he could still make some jokes.
Yeah. Plus,
They,
the wizard powers are just so cool,
all the visuals
and
are
the
cool.
ending is
Dorma-
very funny.
Dormammu, I've come to bargain.
No,
Dormammu, I've come to bargain. That's just
it's a
funny.
really good movie.
It is. Next is oh a really good movie, Spider-Man Homecoming. I say another S plus.
Yeah,
And the relationship with Tony and Spider-Man is just such a good one.
it was kind of a it wasn't expected, but they did it super well.
And the whole part about him taking away the suit because he wasn't responsible enough, and then him going back to the original suit at the very end.
It was really sick.
And also,
I like
I also like the scene where he's just sitting in the warehouse talking to the robot,
True.
and he's like, "I gotta give you a name." Next is, I believe, Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Really good.
No,
I liked it.
I did not like it. It was
I didn't think it was really. I thought it was okay. Okay, I thought it was like mid.
I did not like it at all.
I just thought
Or
the
no,
comedy was
I
pretty
liked the
good.
comedy was funny, but the action was just so boring, and the whole conflict of the movie is so like pointless.
True.
Like I don't think Hank Pym was gonna be mad, to help somebody help you when your daughter's dying.
No, he would be very mad.
He would be very mad. I'm gonna say D
I just
tier.
thought I thought it looked cool and the comedy was funny. So to me, that's brain say that's a good movie.
I'm saying
I
high
think it's
D.
also been ruined because 90% of the time when I'm forced to watch a movie is the worst, most god awful movie you can ever think of.
I'm gonna say high D for me.
Okay, that's fair. I would say C B, but these I think that's a fair opinion.
Now next is Avengers Infinity War. I think we might need to create a new tier for this movie.
Yeah, we definitely do.
Avengers Infinity War is definitely like an S plus movie. 3S plus.
3S plus.
Because it was just so good. And I don't think anybody walked into that theater expecting Thanos to win.
Yeah, no, which was no one expected it because it's an MCU movie. They've always kind of established themselves as kind of having a pretty generic plot line for most of their movies. So I didn't think anyone expected them that happen,
And I like
which just made the next one so much better.
also Thanos' ideals were just so like they there's just his whole character motive was really good because it's like he's doing something wrong but he's also right at the same time.
Yeah, you can't say he's 100% wrong.
He is in some way correct, but what he's doing is technically morally wrong.
Yeah, it's like
It's kind of like how it's kind of like how some people are saying we need population control, and that eventually we're going to have to be forced to game end some people.
yeah,
And yeah, Thanos is just such a good villain. Everything was super good. I like the whole part about. I like how the Guardians were inserted in the movie in a really good way. And again, Spider-Man uses his movie knowledge to defeat someone.
true. Because Spider-Man's good with the movies. Therefore,
Oh, we also forgot to mention the first Spider-Man movie when when the Avengers show up and he fights the Avengers. Remember that part?
yeah, that's still just so goofy to me. It,
You're not Hulk, Mr.
you're not.
Stark.
Mr. Stark.
No, Infinity War is just so good, and I love Captain America with the two shields.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also, actually, no, there was one movie I just realized we didn't put on. Where is it? Is there no Black? Okay, no, there was. I just didn't see it because it was weirdly inserted. Before I ranked Black Panther 1, which is an S plus movie.
Uh, yeah, true. I liked Black Panther 1 a lot, but then there's the one
The
scene.
one scene with the CGI,
Yes.
it was a bit goofy. But did you see how they made it?
No, I have not,
There's
but
like
I'm
so
assuming.
much stuff into going into it, so it was kind of hard
Yeah,
to.
I know, but it just looks so bad that it's just it. For the rest of that fight, I could not take it
If
seriously.
you for some reason don't watch MCU movies, but you're still watching this video, um, here's what we're talking about.
I'm so glad we spoiled everything for you. You're welcome.
True. Well, we have. Yeah, here we go. The CGI suits in Black Panther. Here it is.
Look, it's so heat.
It is so heat.
It was. I like that movie a lot, but I just could not take it seriously due to that.
No, I love the movie so much.
I
I could
loved it,
I could forgive it
but
for the scene.
every time I watch that fight, I cannot take it seriously because of how bad that CGI is.
And the ending was good. They're really good.
Yeah, it's
And
just the.
and again, it's another movie that establishes a serious character.
So it's a.
Well,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
can't.
it tried to establish. Rest in peace.
Oops.
So anyway, next is Captain Marvel.
Eh.
It's I don't I've never I'm gonna say D tier. I've never watched the movie and thought the character hated me.
That's a good way to describe it.
It never did before Captain Marvel. And then when I walked out of that movie theater, I'm like, Captain Marvel just hates me.
Captain Marvel, I like her powers and all that. I just don't like her personality.
True. And that was the only. Okay, no. I forgot Ant Man the Wasp technically came out after Infinity War, but I don't care because they didn't make it.
Technically, an emoji.
So Avengers and Avengers Endgame is S plus tier. Actually, yeah,
Yeah.
not as good as Infinity War because that movie was just a masterpiece, and it's just Avengers Endgame was super good. I like them traveling through time, and them realizing if they don't do this, then even another timeline is gonna be messed up too.
Mm-hmm.
And then
It was really, really good.
you know, and then the whole scene, like the way they brought back the part in Age of Ultron where Captain America somewhat moves the hammer was so good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the ending where they all when on the left.
See, I like how that one scene, the basically joke scene, is the only reason Age of Ultron isn't forgettable for me because they bring it up in the better movie.
True, they do bring up in the better movie. And then everything was good about it. Well, not everything. There,
Not ever.
I liked the part with Tony interacting with his dad,
True.
and then the ending,
But a large amount of it was very good.
and then the ending with Tony Stark. Oh, that was just like so heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm. It was so sad, but also I can't believe that Goku died.
I can't believe Dora drowned Lightning McQueen. I remember when those rumors were going around.
That was the best time.
And in case those rumors ever went around your school, it's because a lot of schools said that if you spoiled the movie, you would get a referral. And I'm not joking. My school went over an intercom when this movie came out and said it.
Yeah, no. It was so. I watched it opening weekend, right? I was able to get.
I watched it opening night, like the first night it came
No,
out.
I got it the day after, but it was before school started, so I knew what actually happened. So it was just so funny because guys, Goku dies.
Goku does die. You know, it was good, and then the ending scene of Iron Man is just so. It felt so correct to end it with
It
Iron
did.
Man.
It did feel so correct.
They ended the Infinity Saga with the character they started it with.
And it was very sad.
And also, Black Widow dies.
No, I forgot about that.
Yeah,
That's how
same. I just
forgettable
remember that.
it is.
I only remember that because this is the movie that made me like Hawkeye. Avengers
Sure.
Endgame. It made me like Hawkeye just because they. I don't know. I like. The thing is, he was too serious in other movies. I know. Yeah, you should have a serious character, but the problem was when you
The
make it.
problem was he's trying to be serious and act cool, but he
But
has a bow and an
he
arrow.
has a bow and an arrow. Last time that tried to be done was CW's Green Arrow, and after the Green Arrow stopped killing, that show went bad. Actually, no, after Deathstroke died, that show went bad. But anyway, let's keep going. And then the next movie is Spider-Man: Far From Home. S plus.
Yep.
I don't think there's. It's the whole concept is super good. Like it being everyone
Plus,
older.
Ned starts doing stuff that's awesome.
Ned is pretty. Ned is fire.
Ned is fire, but the ending is super sad.
The ending is, but I also loved it. I loved how Tony Stark's actions in the past still not only affect himself but people in the future,
Hmm.
and the whole conflict was super good. And also, Happy is correct.
True, but not as cracked as Ned.
I like the part where he said, "I love." He said, "I love Metallica." Was that what he said? And it just wasn't Metallica.
Well, he's happy, so he can say whatever he wants, and he is correct about it 100% of the time.
That is true. Next movie, I believe, is actually I think next is WandaVision. A.
WandaVision, yeah,
You see, I liked it, but then the last episode is what ruined it for me. Cause it
true.
was
I
just
felt like it was going a completely different direction, and then it didn't, and then I got disappointed.
the problem was that they established stuff to be like different and stuff, but then they just said, okay, we're gonna follow the same Marvel formula at the very end. If they didn't do
I
that, it would be
thought,
so much better.
true.
And the whole point of it was that you're unraveling the mystery along the way.
And then it was like, guys, the mystery was clearly
You know,
making makes zero sense, and I can't believe you didn't figure it out.
next is Shang-Chi, an S tier movie.
True. I never heard of this guy before this movie came out, but now I'm a fan.
You know, all the action scenes were just so cool. Them focusing way more on martial arts was just so good. And that I get the one complaint was the end of the movie went to this thing saving from S plus is the end of the movie this with the whole fight at the very end with him fighting like the dragon thing. That could have been done more like the way the rest of the movie was done. But I guess it would have been hard
Well,
because it
it's
was
kind
fighting.
of hard to fight a huge dragon.
True. True. But they could have made it cool. They could have made like a God of War style fight where he's like running on the dragon and punching him and stuff. And next I believe after that is Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Did you watch
I
that?
watched the first. I've watched the first episode of that and fell asleep, and then said, "Time to go watch
Okay.
anime."
I say C tier because most people dropped it at the first half, which is fair. The first half is so boring, but I think the last two episodes saves it from me from D and F. Because the last
Oh,
two
last
episodes
two
are actually
episodes
pretty
good.
good. I like the because I don't know the whole plot, and then the fake the off-brand Captain America was also really good. It just felt right for him to like blow his cool and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I think after they get past the really boring part at the beginning, once they start getting to like the actual plot, it gets good.
The actual plot is the last two episodes of like the
No,
8 episode show.
no. There's also that. There's also episode 3. 4 was kind of there, but 3 was good. So it's a C tier. And then after that is the Eternals.
I don't want to talk about it.
F tier. I'm
Is,
sorry. Wasn't it 40
is there
minutes
any?
long? I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
that felt like a Cartoon Network special, not a movie.
You know, Eternals. It was it was like 40 minutes long. If I
How do you
remember.
call that a movie?
That is literally just not a movie. That's a TV special. That's a single episode of the Marvel shows. After that was Black
And
Widow.
also, did anyone really care about the Eternals? Was anyone really like, guys? My favorite, my favorite thing is the Eternals.
No, nobody. Next is Black Widow, who's also F tier. Who's also in the movie's also an F tier. Everything about that movie is just not good.
Actually, there's one good saving grace of that movie: the dad.
The dad was he if it wasn't for the dad, I would make like an Amy Schumer tier. He was so funny.
True.
Like just Russian Captain America, and they handle it so well by giving him just like a beer belly and stuff. That's just funny to me. And then and after that was you know Taskmaster. They ruined Taskmaster. They wasted Taskmaster completely.
True.
Also, why was Taskmaster a girl in that movie?
I don't know.
Not even in the comics was Taskmaster a girl. Taskmaster.
I feel like Twitter was complaining.
No, Twitter. No, I think Twitter would have been happier if Taskmaster was just a dude because it would have made sense. It would have been accurate, and it was a female-led movie for a female superhero.
Yeah, I don't know.
And
It was weird.
Taskmaster was wasted. Taskmaster's such a cool villain, and the whole thing about him copying any fighting style, and the fact that
And then they're like, guys, but you know, he should really copy Black Widow.
no, Taskmaster has literally fought Deadpool before, and you're saying Taskmaster loses to Black Widow.
She's Black Widow. What can I say?
Oh my god.
She can kick.
And the main villain could smell good. That's not a power. That's called
That's called deodorant.
yeah. That's called deodorant. And then
That's my superpower, guys.
next
My superpower was I went to the dollar store and then I found this thing called deodorant.
next we have a really good movie, Loki, or a really good show, Loki. Loki's S tier.
True, I really loved the
I
Loki.
think no one says they hate Loki.
Loki, I liked him as a. I liked
Villain.
Loki as a character, and then the movie just made it so much. I mean, the show made it so much better.
I like his.
If-
It's like him redemption arc. The only part was a bit weird. Is technically is it incest since it's an alternate version of him? Is it Naruto?
I don't.
You see, that was the one thing that was weird for me. But at the same time, I guess it's a completely different version, so everything would be different. Also, is Store Girl in that universe, or is it just Loki? Hello.
I don't know.
It's just
I'm
I
gonna
don't
be
know.
honest.
That's a weird question to me.
That's a very weird question.
It's just I want to know. Is that how it works with dimension and stuff? And also, I don't know. It was just so funny to me. Okay, next is What If? Did you watch What If?
I did not watch What If.
What If is B tier. It's the first B tier in this. Actually, do you think no, I'm just okay. What If is B tier. I think some of the episodes were good and some of them were bad.
Yeah, I feel like I haven't watched What If, but I kind of know just like alternate stuff. So I feel like some are gonna be a hit, some are gonna be a miss.
I loved the Killmonger episode. The Captain British or whatever was so I did not like that episode. And then I love the last episode of the last two episodes were so good though with Ultron. That was such a good way to wrap it up. The what was the one? There's the zombie apocalypse one was kind of not good. Actually, no, that one was like eh. And as it was just half good, half bad, and the ending was good. And Killmonger was so good. I loved that they brought Killmonger back. Yeah. That was my opinion. And next is Spider-Man No Way Home. S plus.
Yes. He didn't have a way home, which is very strange.
That movie was just so good. They brought back the other two Spider-Mans in a way that didn't seem, just they're just like we're just gonna put them in.
Yeah, and also Ned starts getting powers.
You know, that's the best. That's like a really good part too, because that's how they make it so it doesn't feel forced. Like bring me Spider-Man. No, bring me Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. That made sense. And then the ending is so heart crushing because
Yeah,
his life is finally going super good. Everything's turning out good. He's been able to go to the same university as his best friend and his girlfriend, but he has to sacrifice everything just so that the world will be saved. And the whole
yeah,
Green Goblin was such a good villain in that. I mean, to be fair, he was such a good villain in the original Spider-Man, but like, oh, just perfect for this movie. And I'm having to fight all the past villains was super good.
yeah.
And they fixed Electro's design too. That's another thing I want to
I
point out.
forgot. That was. I'm so glad they did that because
Electro looks so not good in that first movie. And also, he had an absolute glow up between the Amazing Spider-Man and Far From Home. What happened? He like
um
hit the gym or something, and I don't know what type of beauty care products he was using because he did not look like the same person.
that's very. He looked. I did not think that was the same guy at first, and then I had to look it up later. I was like, that's the same guy.
Because they said they brought back all the old actors. I'm like, I don't believe that. You know,
That
Doc.
that's cap because that guy did not look like that.
I like how Doctor Strange didn't interfere until or no, he interfered, but like he didn't interfere too much so that it became like a Doctor Strange and Spider-Man movie.
Yeah.
And then Spider-Man himself was super good. I loved the ending, and also they're setting up for a new Spider-Man trilogy with him. Also, did you know the new Spider-Man trilogy might have Miles Morales and Gwen Stacy instead?
That's pretty sick.
I want Miles. I just want him. He's Miles is such a good character, and his powers are super cool. Electric fist or bioelectric fist, and then invisible.
It makes like no sense, but it's so cool.
It is, and I can't wait for the new Spider-Verse movie.
True.
Hawkeye.
The only thing I'm scared about with the new Spider-Verse movie is that I'm too hyped for it and that I'm not going to be
I
as.
think that's what
It might be a
everyone's
good
scared.
movie.
That's what everyone's scared about. Next is Moon Knight. Moon Knight is also S
As,
plus.
as,
S plus. Moon Knight is just so good. And the best part is it doesn't really fall into that trap of like normal Marvel until technically the last episode, but that was only between the deities. Moon Knight himself was still fighting like normal.
yeah, Moon Knight is like.
Just and the internal conflict about him being two different people because he didn't want to accept that his brother died was super good.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just so funny the scenes where he's like, "Where am I? Why am I in the middle of a random town and like somewhere?"
Yeah, no, the anyone where like the first episode before you see it from both sides, it's just so funny. It's like, I went to sleep in my room and now I'm in like a random country in Bolivia.
Yeah, that was funny. And then Moon Knight himself, his powers are super cool, and I love the like action oriented. So it's not like I'm using my powers. No, I'm using actual fighting.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's another thing that makes the Spider-Man and Captain America movies. I think that's what makes a lot of the higher tier movies really good.
The fighting, yeah,
Yeah,
because they use
they use actual fighting.
instead of guys. Look,
To be fair, Black Widow had that, but Black Widow did it bad.
But Black Widow somehow messed it up.
Also, the ending, like the very.
Have you seen that? Also, that CGI scene in Black Widow. You know
Oh
what I'm
yeah, I know
talking
what you're talking about. But also, the ending in Moon Knight was super funny to me. He wasn't the only person inside of him, and like he's like explaining, he's not the only person side of view, and then it shows Spanish. The Spanish one is so funny to me because, like, excuse me, he just speaks Spanish.
He speaks Spanish. Do you have
And
a problem with that?
and they also foreshadow really well by the scene where both of them don't know what's happening, but everyone's beat up.
True.
Next is Hawkeye. Hawkeye was B tier.
You made a Hawkeye movie?
Show.
Oh,
Okay, the thing
didn't
is,
watch it.
I liked the whole action stuff. I liked Hawkeye himself and his whole story. But Kate Bishop, the person who played it, I didn't like her at first for like the first few episodes. Because the first like 2 episodes, she's like, I have so many problems in my life. Ugh, you are a rich, spoiled white girl. Like, you don't have any problems. You are spoiled and you are rich. But then after that, they kind of do show that she did have a lot of problems in her life, and that it like a lot of like family problems. I can hear
Hmm.
myself through Discord. Not any.
That
It
sounds like a
ended.
skill
It
issue.
ended. I think. You know. And then I like that part. Hawkeye himself was really good, and the action was pretty. The only thing is they wasted Kingpin.
They did kind of waste Kingpin.
If he comes back.
Could have been used a bit better.
Next is Miss Marvel, which is actually a solid A tier. Did you watch Miss Marvel?
I did not watch Miss Marvel. Is it good?
Yes, I think the best part about Miss Marvel is actually. Hold on, I'm put Miss Marvel in a second because Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is C tier.
It's mid.
It's mid. Okay, there's some people saying it's awful, but it's just because you had
It's
such low
not awful.
expectations.
It's just because the first one was so cracked, and then
You know. So now Miss Marvel, A tier. I think the best decision they made with Miss Marvel is not giving her stretchy powers like the comics, since they already established in Multiverse of Madness that the Fantastic Four thing, and then we don't want two stretchy heroes. And the powers are also so unique. And also, like, the whole thing about, I don't know, the whole family aspect, too, about how it is to be in, like, a traditional, like, I think is Muslim household, was good. I hope I got that right and I didn't forget. But that was really good. And the dad was cracked. The dad was so funny to me. My favorite part was like, I want to go as Captain Marvel to the Avengers con, and like, no, he's like, look, we're going as the Hulk, grr, and even the dad had the Hulk costume, which was funny.
true, the
And
whole
also,
costume kind of.
and she felt like since the beginning she had problems, and you know, it was good. And also the whole character development was, and the ending was super funny where Captain Marvel just appears. So
Mm.
next we got Thor, Love and Thunder. I'm gonna say low B, high C, just because
Okay.
it was mid. Like, it could have been
I thought it was good, but just the fact that the villain is literally not a villain.
yeah, he's not a villain. Gore the God Butcher did one thing wrong in that entire movie. And the only thing they show him doing wrong was kidnapping the kids of Asgard, and the reason he did that is to have safe passage to the center of the universe. Because he knew people were going to start coming after him.
Yes.
Like,
It's like he's not a villain. He's not he's not the greatest person.
True. He did it to save his daughter. The one god they show him killing was making fun of him, like, completely. Just, she was like mocking that his daughter's dead and stuff. I'm sorry, but if you are a person with a sword that makes you a bit loony or a bit crazy, and then somebody is mocking that your daughter's dead and saying that's and making jokes about it in front of you, and you're really emotional, I do not view you as a villain.
Mm-hmm.
However, Zeus was cracked.
Zeus is cracked in everything he's in.
I know. Zeus was so funny.
Zeus.
Oh yeah, they should have had. It would have been funny if they have Kratos in the MCU.
That would have been funny.
So that's the end of the video.
That is the
This
end of the
is an
video.
hour and 5 minute video.
That's great.
But to be fair, it's all the Avengers movies.
True.
So that's the end of the video. This is the official tier list for Avengers movies, and you saw the official one for DC movies. So that's the end.
Bye.
Bye.